All right, Shalom. It's the brothers from GMS Atlanta. I want to start out by giving all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honor to the apostles and elders, a great millstone, and a Shalom to all Akim out there pushing the word of sincerity and the truth. And we just want to entitle this lesson, No Sacrifice, No Victory. All right? Which that word sacrifice goes back to the Hebrew word zabak. And that other Hebrew word mazabak means altar. So that's where the sacrifice is laid out at. And where do we sacrifice ourselves with? Our flesh, our spirits, you know, putting in work, going through trials and tribulations, all to verify the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. So, who got that Romans 12?
I got it. Romans chapter 12, verse 1. Beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of Yahweh, that ye present your bodies as living sacrifice.
See, the Lord said that you present your bodies as living sacrifice. So you give your body like as a gift or an offering, a present. You know, where do we present ourselves? To the highways and byways. You know, that's where we basically promote and push the truth for the Lord. And we put it all in our vessels through this book and push it out. You know, for the sake of what? Yahweh Shai. To give the message out. Somebody get Isaiah 55 and 1. So that's what it's about. It's about pushing the Lord's truth and making sure that his word goes out. You know? That's the prophet's job. What was the prophet's job? Was the prophet's job the gangbang? Or the goddamn, you know, smoke weed? Or the club, you know, all day and bullshit where they talk? Nah. A prophet's job was to prophesy, man. Prophesy means to say before. What were they saying before? The scriptures. And where was their inspiration from? The scriptures written of the prophecies, man. Somebody got that? Isaiah 55?
Come. Isaiah chapter 55, verse 1. Ho, everyone that thirsteth, come ye to the waters.
See, it says, ho, everyone that thirsteth, come ye to the waters. Where is the waters located? These living waters right here in these scriptures, John 6 and 63. That's where the fountain of truth is located. And through that, you have basically understanding, wisdom, and knowledge. Keep going.
And he that hath no money, come ye buy, eat, yea, come buy wine and milk without money.
Right. And this is the wine, this is the milk. This is where the treasure lies, which these people don't see. These people don't see gold right in front of them. And they basically searching for the truth and basically lost places. But we don't even have to search. We don't have to look far and wide for basically pleasure, because we know where the jewel lies. That's why the scriptures is no more precious than rubies when you read that in Proverbs. You know, and when you put this and you lodge this and you invest it in your spirit, that's you becoming gold. But that gold has to be fermented, basically, and it has to keep that heat on top of it for it to be registered, you know, as real gold or fool's gold. Because if you put intense fire on fool's gold, that metal, plastic, you know, bullshit, basically inconsistent minerals is going to burn out. It's going to blacken and it's going to crush itself, you know, or it's going to be crushed, excuse me. But if it's true gold, what is it going to do? The outside sediments is going to basically destroy, you know, and the gold, the actual carat gold is going to be revealed, you know. And with that gold, you take it with other allodials, different metals, to strengthen the combination of it, so it could be a great jewel on the neck of the Lord. You know, and that's through our tribulations. That's through the fire and the hell that we suffered and catch for this word's sake. Somebody got some on that?
If I can say too, and like that's actually how you refine gold too. Like, you know, like how do you get pure gold? You put heat to it. You know what I'm saying? And that heat is synonymous to the hell that, you know, you go through. You know what I'm saying? But the beautiful thing is, like, you can expect it. You know, and if you just abide by laws and statutes, then it'll actually refine you. You know, rather than break you.
Yep. What you say? What don't kill me make me strong? You got some on that?
Come. and without price. Wherefore do ye spend money for that which is not bread, and your labor for that which satisfieth not? Hearken diligently unto me, and eat ye that which is good.
See, and eat thee, which is the truth, man. This is what fills you up. Scripture says, "Blessed are they that hunger and thirst for righteousness' sake." But that's all I want. What you had?
I had Romans 12.
Yeah, read that.
Start back at the top. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of Yahweh, that ye present your bodies as living sacrifices.
See, present your bodies as living sacrifices. That's what it's about. Presenting your body and basically putting your body or your spirit on a line for the truth's sake. No matter what it takes to verify the spirit of the Lord and to push the Lord's testimony out. You actually are living the Lord's testimony and pushing and navigating the spirit of the Lord on earth. That's what it's about. To basically emulate and be just as one with Yahweh Shai. That's the 144,000. They're going to be all the same in the spirit. They're going to have the same likeliness. You know, like it says in Ephesians 4, one body, one soul, one spirit. All of our spirits is going to be one until the end, you know. But it takes, you know, trials and tribulations for us to really understand and basically perfect, you know, everything together, you know, because everything is about, you know, togetherness in the spirit. Scriptures talk about how things are going to be perfectly joined together for that building, and everything is going to be founded upon that cornerstone. You can't be an Old Testament guy saying that you basically not down with Yahweh Shai and think that you're going to get the kingdom, man. Scripture said it's built upon a chief cornerstone. If you're building something outside of that chief cornerstone, your building is not going to be built properly. It's going to be regularly shaped, and it's going to eventually tear down in due season because it's not established correctly. The Most High is very, very intricate, and He wants His stuff built on that only cornerstone, which is Yahweh Shai. Keep going.
Holy acceptance unto Yahweh, which is your reasonable service.
Mm-hmm.
And be not conformed to this world, but be yet transformed by the renewing of your mind.
See, and be not conformed to this world. Which conform means to be one with the form. Basically trying to put yourself in the categories of this world. I'm a doctor. I'm a businessman. You know, I'm pro-black. I'm black conscious. No, we don't represent ourselves like that. The scriptures say basically, you know, we're the hidden ones. Scriptures say be sheep amongst wolves. We don't reveal ourselves, reveal our identity. But we push it out until the ones that can get it. The hopeful few of the elect. The sheep that the Most High called and said that my sheep hear my voice. Only a few is going to get this. That's what the Matrix was about. The certain, you know, numerical codes that were to be pushed out for the individuals to see clearly something that's actually encoded and understand and get with the criteria or the truth. You know, and that's what it's about.
I got a precept about.
Okay.
If you know that.
But it takes labor. It takes skills. It takes really the spirit of the Lord to pump to get to that, man. You know, that's why you can't slow up in this thing, man. You gotta pump harder and harder. The stronger you get, the more you push out. You know, the Lord said in Isaiah the 62nd chapter, He's gonna be a watch. He's not gonna sleep day or night. If you when you can get
He
that,
said, give him no rest.
you ain't gonna give him no rest. You know what time is it now? It's 3 o'clock. You know, brothers do lessons from on a 24-hour basis, man. Because it's all about pushing out the truth so that Jerusalem will be reigned upon the earth. You got some more on that?
There's a little bit more, man. That ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of Yahweh.
Yeah, and that's what it's about, the perfect will of the Lord, man. It says, be ye perfect as your Father in heaven is perfect. And it takes basically you staying on yourself and working harder and harder to that perfection, man. You know, why did the disciples roll with the Lord so aggressively? Because he was perfect. And they were looking to be perfect and be joint as one with him. And the generations after that, Elijah and Elisha, you know, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, you know, the 12 tribes, different things like that, all of them worked towards, you know, extending their spirit to being perfect on earth. And that's what it's about. But these different people is fighting for everything against the will of the Lord. You're supposed to fight for the will. And the will will fight for you. And the will will be with you. Hey, John 1:1, that's what made Yahweh Shai one with the Lord. Because his spirit was perfectly aligned. There wasn't no schisms. And there wasn't anything, you know, that protruded the intimacy of the will of the Lord. And that's what it takes in this truth. Okay.
Isaiah chapter 62, verse 6. I have set watchmen upon thy walls, O Jerusalem.
See that? He said, I have set watchmen upon thy walls. A watchman is what? Somebody who is on the highest tower and they keep their eyes patrolling. Basically, policemen. That's basically in the, you know, basically at nighttime looking, you know, through night, sometimes day watchmen. You know, watchman is a 24-hour base, and it takes multiple members depending on, you know, the times or the, you know, city that's dwelled in. But their job is always to register and watch. You can't slow down. Keep on.
Which shall never hold their peace day nor night.
Right. Which shall never hold their peace day nor night. And who are we not holding our peace to? To the Most High. Scriptures talk about the ones that sign that cry for righteousness' sake. And that's us. We cry to the Lord consistently, day and night, through our prayers. That's a form of screeching and crying. So that the Lord will hear us and basically get us and redeem us out of this, you know, hell. Out of Babylon. Keep on.
Ye that make mention of the Lord, keep not silence.
See? You that made mention of the Lord, keep not silence. So you can't let the scripture says the incredulity of this kingdom trouble you. Because just because they don't believe don't make it not the truth. They wasn't meant to get it. It was for a select few. Many are called, few are chosen. The key word is few. Only a few are to get this. You know? And that's what it's about, going through the straight and narrow. Straight being a perdition of difficulty. Because the more hell you catch verifies the fact that you are pushing yourself towards that number. That's the tribulation of your faith. Anybody got anything?
I still got some more.
Okay.
Verse 7. And give him no rest till he establish until he make Jerusalem a praise in the earth.
Yeah, see, give him no rest until he makes Jerusalem praise on the earth and established. And that's what it's about, keeping everything grounded in the spirit of the Lord. Yeah. Pushing and truthfully speaking out his commandments and his prophecies and how things are supposed to be operated. What you say?
Because Esau, everybody's worshiping the image.
Yeah. So
they praising Esau. They filled with Esau ways, such as holidays and voting and stuff like that.
Yeah. Which in the beginning was not so.
Yeah.
You guys wrong?
No, that's it.
You got some?
I got some. 2 Peter 3:9. The Lord is not slack concerning his promise, as some men count slackness, but is long suffering to usward, not willing that any should perish, but that all should come to repentance.
See that? And that's why the Lord is basically waiting out. You know, because it's all about for everything is for our sakes. You know, the Lord is, you know, giving us a chance he's giving us mercy to redeem ourselves, to do that which is right. You know, to basically push our spirit out, you know, through him. Keep on.
But that the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burnt up. but I'm gonna jump down for sure. To verse 13.
You got it.
Verse 1.
Keep going.
An account that the long suffering of our Lord is salvation,
Go down. Keep going.
even as our beloved brother Paul also concerning to the wisdom given unto him have written unto you. But I brought that precept out because, and it says, an account that the long suffering of our Lord is salvation.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so a part of that, you know that there's gonna be trials and tribulations. You know, you should expect that. You know, because that's how you're refined. That's how you're made better. That's pretty much that heat being placed onto you.
Yeah.
But it says, but long suffering of our Lord. So if you suffer in the name of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, it says it's salvation. So that's the purpose of suffering. You know, the Most High isn't putting you through things just to put you through things. He's putting you through things to make you better.
Yeah, that's battle testing. He's battle testing. He's battle hard for the day of tribulation. You know, the time of Jacob's trouble. Keep going. Well, you got that Hebrews. Right, what was that? Hebrews 11. Y'all in that. You going to get that Hebrews 11?
Can I start at the top?
Yeah, I got one of
Okay, yeah. Nah, go jump down to what, 28?
25. Or,
Yeah.
all right. This is Hebrews chapter 11, verse 25. Choosing rather to suffer afflictions with the people of Yahweh than to enjoy the pleasure of sin for a season.
Keep going.
Esteeming the reproach of Yahushua greater riches than the treasures in Egypt.
Mm-hmm. Keep going.
For he had respect unto the recompense of the reward.
Which is the payback. Keep going.
By faith he forsook Egypt, not fearing the wrath of the king.
What you talking about Moses? Because it wasn't about riches with him, man. It was about his people. It was about redemption of his people out of captivity. Keep going. And it took suffering. It took hell. It was a voyage to take his people towards the way of righteousness. Keep going.
Esteeming the reproach of Yahushua greater riches than
27.
Oh yeah, verse 27. By faith he forsook Egypt, not fearing the wrath of the king, for he endured as seeing him who is invisible.
Yeah, see, Moses endured by seeing him who is invisible. Who is that? Yahweh. You know, he believed, and that's where his faith lies. Hebrews 11 is all about the works of faith, man. Where the Most High Spirit to take you if you trust in him. The Lord said, has any of them trust in him and was confounded? No, not one. You just got to believe. And through your prayer, that's where your faith comes, man. Through faith, you know, prayer. You got to keep praying and speaking unto the Most High to basically keep, you know, the Most High at bed with you, you know. Jump down to 32.
Verse 32. And what shall I more say? For the time would fail me to tell of Gideon and Barak and of Samson and of Jephthah, of David, also Samuel, and of the prophets, who through faith subdued kingdoms.
See, this is what was due through their faith, man. They endured and subdued kingdoms. Keep going.
Wrought righteousness.
Worked righteousness, and they through their righteousness they spread out, and it made wicked men righteous. You know, men that were sinful, and it converted them. Keep going.
Obtained promises, stopped the mouths of lions.
Yep. Such as Daniel. Yep.
Quenched
their faith.
Quenched the violence of fire, escaped the edge of the sword.
Mm-hmm. The Maccabees. Keep going.
Out of weakness were made strong, waxed valiant
in fight. Meaning they waxed mighty in fight. Through their faith, what they believed in. They held and trusted in it, and it got them to the end. Keep going.
And in fight turned to flight, the armies of the aliens.
with the aliens of the other nations. You know, killed them and we had them fleeing out of, lands such as the Canaanites. You know, killed off the Moabites, killed off the other nations, We put the aliens to flight. We put the Philistines to flight. King David did that. Keep going.
Women received their dead raised to life again,
Elijah. Keep going.
and others were tortured.
And plenty of men, had to suffer that. Jeremiah, the disciples, the Maccabees. A lot of men had, faced that, in the face. So, brothers, there ain't no excuse. We pushing the truth. But hey, time is gonna come with it. The fire is gonna heat up, man. This ain't, the end. When we catching hell, but the hell is gonna increase and it's gonna intensify, man. You gotta really look at these different books as a memorial, man, on what righteousness is gonna take you through. But you gotta register this unto death. If it takes that, that's why there's no sacrifice, no victory. Some men have to sacrifice their lives, Keep going.
Women received their dead raised to life again, and others were tortured, not accepting deliverance, that they might obtain a better resurrection.
Keep going.
And others had trial of cruel mockings and scourgings.
Hey, Yahweh Shah, trials of cruel mockings and scourges. Pontius Pilate, when he had to bear the burden, or bear the cross and get crucified upon it, and got scourges and whips constantly. People mocking him. Like he said, he gave me gall to drink. And they said they spat on him and buffeted him. Keep going.
Yea, moreover, of bonds and imprisonment.
And Paul, he was a prime example of somebody who was in prison. Jeremiah, men got locked up for the truth's sake, And the angel of the Lord delivered Paul because of what he believed in. Keep going.
They were stoned, they were sown asunder, were tempted, were slain with the sword, they wandered about in sheepskins.
And it said they were stoned. Stephen got stoned for teaching Israel about the truth. And he gave a testimony of the truth, getting on them in the Acts. And they said they would weep, weeping and gnashing of teeth, They were so pissed off at the truth that Stephen said they stoned him to death. Says they were sawn asunder, cut in half. John the Baptist being beheaded. Disciples being beheaded for the truth's sake, being crucified.
Peter hung upside down.
Peter hung upside down. The Lord, being hung. Keep going.
In sheepskins and goatskins, being destitute.
Yeah, John the Baptist. In his fabric, what it says in John, I think 3rd chapter, he wore camel hair, teaching in the wilderness.
Baptized in Jordan.
Yep, eating honey and wild locusts and honey. Keep going.
Being destitute, afflicted,
being destitute, nowhere to live. Without honor in their own city kicking them out for the truth that they speaking. Looked at like heathens within their own family. And they basically got together with a familiar family in the spirit. That's us.
Yeah, because Yahweh Shah said it was my mother and it was my brother.
Yep. But them that do the will of the Lord in heaven. Mark 3 and 35.
Because 2 of his brothers didn't go with him.
Yep.
To teach they really didn't really believe him.
Yep. The James and Jude was the ones that stuck with him. My sheep hear my voice. Yep. And only a few people can hear the voice. Everybody can't hear the voice. You can't smack it in Jake's head thinking Jake gonna get it, man. You better off talking to your fucking dog about the truth than Jake. The dog probably get saved more than a lot of these niggas, man. A nigga deny the truth to the end, man. A nigga hear it and talk shit right after. Sniff some coke, man, and commit adultery. That's the mentality of a nigga for you, man. They just don't want to do that which is right. That's why they're leading to death and destruction, man. Ain't no time to be, trying to tailor the truth to people that's not gonna make it, man. Push the truth for the truth's sake. Keep going.
It says, of whom the world was not worthy.
See, of whom the world was not worthy. The individuals who don't even belong there. That's us. This world isn't even worthy of us. From the apostles on down.
Elijah,
you know,
ran into the mountains with what's her name, Jezebel.
Yep.
Was ruling. The Lord said, I have not bowed. 7,000 men haven't bowed to Jezebel.
Yep.
She's a very wicked woman.
Mm-hmm.
She killed a lot of men. She killed some of the prophets.
Yep. But you had those ones that wasn't going to subject themselves unto this kingdom, man. The ones that's going to go against everything this thing stood for. That's the virgins. The ones that kept themselves pure in a house or a castle full of mess. You know, where it's debaucherous. Hey, just think about being a virgin in Rome. That's a rarity, man. That's a jewel. Because everything is full of debauchery, fucking incest, drugs, you know, orgies and different things. Like, that's all that's going on in America. And if you're a virgin in those times, it's like, yo, that's a crazy spirit, man. That's why you got to understand everything that the Lord be speaking about in these scriptures, man. Keeping yourself pure and unscathed from the world. Keep on.
Says, they wandered in deserts and in mountains and in dens and caves of the earth.
Mm-hmm.
And these all, having obtained a good report through faith, received not the promise.
Yep. And through all that, they still didn't receive the promise, such as Moses. You know, he led Israel through the Gulf of Suez. You know, he wandered for 40 years. Got on the Israelites, went through Mount Sinai, got the commandments, broke the commandments, got, you know, the other stack of commandments basically, and, you know, staying on Israel, built in the church, you know, built in the nation with Jethro, you know, going through the voyages and, you know, being amongst his people, and he still didn't get the promise, you know. Plenty of men had to suffer that, you know. Because the promise still in the end. Hey, the disciples thought they was going to get the promise during the Lord's time. They said, this is the time where we're going to get the redemption of the nation. You know? But all of them got crucified. They had crucifixions. John died on the island of Patmos. You know, Peter died, got crucified upside down. You know, Paul died. The Lord died. James, the disciples got dispersed and killed off, delivered in captivity, and here we are in the end of days, man. We in the toes. So this is the time for us, you know, to redeem and push out the Lord, because this is all we have, man. And this is what we got to push to the end. Keep on.
The Most High having provided some better thing for us, that they without us should not be made perfect.
Keep going.
That's it.
That's the end of it?
Yeah.
Okay. You had the other scripture? We'll close that then.
I have the scripture in 2 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 25. It says, when he's speaking about Paul, it says, thrice was I beaten with rods.
Mm-hmm. And this is the testimony of what Paul had to go through physically, you know, for his verification in the faith. I said, thrice was I beaten with rods. Keep going.
Once was I stoned.
Once was I stoned. Keep going.
Thrice I suffered shipwreck.
Thrice, 3 times I suffered shipwreck. Keep going.
And night and a day I have been in the deep.
A night and a day he's been in the deep. You know, catching all kind of hell. That's a hell of a life, man. You know, for the truth's sake. Keep going.
Verse 26, and journeys often in perils of water.
Hey, Paul's missionaries. He went plenty of places, man. You know, dealt with a lot of churches. Look at all the letters. The Lord, you know, got 4 gospels, and majority of the rest of the New Testament is Paul, man. 1 Corinthians, 2 Corinthians, Ephesians, Galatians, Timothy, Titus, Philippians, like I say Galatians, like I said Philippians. So, those was a lot of churches that he dealt with intimately, the book of Hebrews, the different churches. And it took a lot of labor and it took a lot of might for the spirit to be dispensed perfectly. Keep going.
And perils of robbers.
People trying to take money from him, taking shit from him, Keep going.
And perils by my own countrymen.
By his own people coming against him. Keep going.
And perils by the heathen.
And perils by the other nations. Keep going.
And perils in the city.
So he caught a lot of hell. Keep going.
And perils in the wilderness.
Perils in the wilderness. It didn't matter where he went, man. Satan was just right by him. Like, damn. That's a trial of faith. Keep going.
And perils in the sea.
Perils in the sea. Keep going.
And perils among false brethren.
And perils amongst false brothers. So even when he was amongst other people, he seen that, they wasn't real. They didn't have a spirit. Certain men denied, the ministry. Such as Hymenaeus and Philetus, when you read in 2 Timothy 2 and 17, whom concerning faith became shipwrecked. Some men, Paul said he had to call Satan unto, said so that they won't learn, so that they don't learn to blaspheme or to come against the Most High. But that's what it's about, pushing out the truth of the Lord and pushing out the judgments and, displaying the righteousness which the Most High gave us. But that's it.
Let me go to 27. It says, in weariness and painfulness, and washings often, and hunger and thirst.
See, and hunger and the thirst. So he kind of leveled the hell on all bases, physical, mental, through voyages, through, exploration, and he still actually went the extra route. He didn't sit down, man. He was always looking to push out the truth and to take it one step further. That's it.
Continue on, it says, and fasting often.
Fasting often. Kept trying to purify his soul, kept purifying him, refining his spirit. Keep going.
And cold and nakedness.
And cold and nakedness, keep going.
Verse 28, besides those things that are without, that which cometh upon me daily, the care of all the churches.
Keep going.
Who is weak, and I am not weak, who is offended, and I burn not.
Yeah, that's the main point. Yeah. No, so we'll just end it right there. We'll give our praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom Alakim.
Shalom.